your school at home class in EAP. We are in the third quarter of our set of lessons, and I hope everybody will delight in learning today in lesson number 2, Techniques in Summarizing Academic Texts. This is your self-instructional learner video in EAP. All the activities provided in this lesson will help you learn and understand techniques in summarizing academic texts. Specifically, you will learn about the following. Familiarize the various techniques in summarizing academic texts. Identify what summarizing technique is suitable to use from the various passages. And summarize a text using one summarizing technique in academic texts. For a start, do the pretest, which is good for 20 seconds to be accomplished. Then, correct answers will be flashed right after for the assessment. Identify what kind of summarizing technique is described in each of the following sentences. Write the letter of your answer in a sheet of paper. 1. It is a kind of summary where one needs to understand how the study goes and its results. A. Cornell method. B. Argumentative or theoretical. C. Experimental report. 2. A summary which is considered as comprehensive, accurate, neutral, and independent. A. Cornell method. B. Argumentative or theoretical. C. Experimental report. 3. This summary technique needs 2 columns. The first is for main points, and the second is for important explanations or details about the main points. A. Cornell method. B. Argumentative or theoretical. C. Experimental report. Four. One needs to follow the author's main line of reasoning, spot arguments, identify the counter-arguments, differentiate main ideas and evidence to support. A. Cornell method. B. Argumentative or theoretical. C. Experimental report. 5. A kind of summary that considers the order, corpus, method, results, and conclusion. A. Cornell method. B. Argumentative or theoretical. C. Experimental. Here are the correct answers. For the recap, learners were taught to use their knowledge of text structure to glean the information teaching us. Knowledge of text structure is essential for readers and writers as well. The structure of the text can help to find the answers, to summarize, and to build meaning. Some of text structures are cause and effect, chronological order, compare and contrast, description and problem and solution. Summary is a shortened passage which retains the essential information of the original text, thus without using value judgments. Today, let us talk about some summarizing techniques in academic texts. Summary: a synopsis or digest of the essence of an entire text. Here are the various techniques. The Cornell method. Divide the note paper into 2 columns. On the left-hand side, write the main points. In the right-hand column, write down important explanations or details about the main point. Example: dolphin may get a prosthetic leg. The news from Indian River Lagoon was too familiar. Another dolphin gravely injured because of human action. The baby bottlenose dolphin lost her tail, but perhaps her life could be saved. The solution for the dolphin, dubbed Winter, may be a prosthetic tail. A fisherman found her tangled in the buoy line of a crab trap in Indian River Lagoon near Cape Canaveral. The line tightened around her tail as she tried to swim away. strangling the blood supply to her tail. It looked like paper, Zucker said of Winter's tail. Winter learned how to swim without her tail, amazing her handlers with a combination of moves that resemble an alligator's undulations and a shark's side-to-side tail swipes. She will be a permanent resident at the aquarium. Even if she gets prosthetic tail, Zucker has formed a team to discuss the prospects of designing a tail for Winter. Fuji, an elderly dolphin who lives at an aquarium in Okinawa, Japan, had part of his tail remaining on which to attach a prosthesis. Veterinarians are unsure if a prosthesis will be beneficial or harmful in the long term. The cost of the prosthetic tail is unknown. All I know is Fuji's tail cost $100,000, and that was in 2004, Makolo said. We're a mom and pop shop, Zucker said. It's a labor of love. It's the cost of the long-term care of Winter and the other injured animals in her care that worry her. Winter is a living reminder for humans to be careful about what they leave in the water. The kids get it right away. It's the adults, more creatures of habit, who take more persuasion, Makolo said. You can't outlaw fishing line, but you can educate a fisherman not to use careless techniques such as tossing out line. Here is the process of summarizing texts using Cornell method. On the left-hand column are the main points. On the right-hand column are the explanations and details. Summary. The dolphin that lost its tail. A dolphin named Winter lost her tail through human action. She was caught by a crab line and lost her tail while trying to swim away. Scientists found and fed her. Then she started to swim, but like no other dolphins, her swimming style could be harmful to her, so scientists decided to solve this problem with a prosthetic tail. This was done by Japanese before, but that dolphin lost only a part of her tail. A prosthetic tail could be a solution, but it was expensive and difficult to create. Also, Winter wouldn't swim like other dolphins. That meant she would live in an aquarium for her entire life. A lot of different people helped to design the tail. However, all these weren't the real solution. The perfect solution was teaching adults, especially fishermen, to be more careful. Summarizing an experimental report. Summarizing texts require adequate understanding of the experimental methods and discussions. Some articles, usually the report, follows the order, purpose, method, results, and conclusion. Example, black tea soothes away stress. The study of black tea, instead of green or herbal varieties, found it helps cut levels of the stress hormone cortisol circulating in the blood. They found people who drank tea were able to distress more quickly than those who drank a tea substitute. The University College London study is in the journal Psychopharmacology. In the study, 75 young male regular tea drinkers were split into two groups and monitored for 6 weeks. They all gave up their normal tea, coffee, and caffeinated beverages, and then one group was given a fruit-flavored caffeinated tea mixture made up of the constituents of an average cup of black tea. The other group was given a caffeinated placebo, identical in taste, but devoid of the active tea ingredients. Both groups were subjected to challenging tasks, while their cortisol, blood pressure, blood platelet, and self-rated levels of stress were measured. The task triggered substantial increases in blood pressure, heart rate, and subjective stress ratings in both of the groups. However, 50 minutes after the task, cortisol levels had dropped by an average of 47% in the tea drinking group and compared with 27% in the fake tea group. Blood platelet activation, linked to blood clotting and the risk of heart attacks, was also lower in the tea drinkers. In addition, this group reported a greater degree of relaxation in the recovery period after the task. Professor Steptoe said it was unclear what ingredients in tea were responsible. This has important health implications because slow recovery following acute stress has been associated with a greater risk of chronic illnesses such as coronary heart disease. Here is the process of summarizing experimental report. It follows the order: method, results, conclusion, and discussion. Summary. Black tea soothes away stress. In a study done in University College of London, it was found that black tea helps to reduce stress levels after stressful events. In the study, 75 young male regular tea drinkers were divided into two groups and were monitored for 2 weeks. One group of subjects was given a caffeinated tea mixture while the second group was given only a placebo drink. After that period, both groups were placed in one of the 3 stressful situations. The challenging task increased blood pressure, heart rate, and subjective stress ratings in both groups. However, after 50 minutes, it was observed that the tea drinkers recover from stress more quickly than those who drank a fake tea substitute, although it is unclear if ingredients in tea are responsible. This is an important finding because it is known that slow recovery after a stressful situation leads to chronic illnesses such as heart disease. Summarizing argumentative or theoretical texts. One needs to follow the author's main line of reasoning, spot his arguments, identify the counter-arguments he puts forward to refute another argument, differentiate between main ideas, evidence provided to support or refute arguments. Note or highlight the thesis, primary assertions, arguments or findings, and the primary means of support for each one. In the first draft of the summary, introduce in the first paragraph the full title of the material, the author's full name, and the topic of the reading. In the body of the summary, clearly explain the important content of reading. Make sure the summary is comprehensive, have included the author's major ideas, assertions, and findings, accurate, did not misinterpret the author's ideas through own words or paraphrasing, neutral, did not include own evaluation or comments as being fair and objective, independent, a person who has not read the source text can understand what have been written as a summary. Example, Monkey Brain Research, the case against. Dr. Ray Greek, Medical Director of Europeans for Medical Advancement, puts the case against using monkeys in neuroscience research. The planning inspector who conducted the public inquiry concluded that no national need for brain research on primates had been demonstrated at the inquiry. There is abundant evidence of harm to humans as a result of experiments on primates. Many drugs that were safe for primates have gone on to injure and kill people. For example, ambrinon was tested on numerous non-human primates and released with confidence. However, 1 in 5 human patients hemorrhaged as the drug prevented normal blood clotting. An Alzheimer's vaccine was withdrawn in 2001 when it caused serious brain inflammation in patients. After proving safe and effective in tests on monkeys, the most dramatic differences between humans and other primates are in the brain. Our brain is 4 times larger than that of a chimpanzee, which is 4 times larger than that of a macaque. Evidence biochemical pathways in the human brain are unique. Gene expression in our brain is dramatically different from that of the chimpanzee. Everything we know about these diseases has been learned from autopsies of patients, population research, and studies using human tissues cultured from biopsies or autopsies. It is in human tissue that we will find the answers to these diseases. The funding for the Primate Center would be better spent on more scientifically modern and reliable research methods involving DNA microarrays, bioinformatics, microdosing with subsequent PET analysis, human stem cells, large clinical studies, and so on. Here is the process of summarizing argumentative or theoretical texts. It has theses, arguments, examples, and Conclusion. Summary. Monkey brain research, the case against. Dr. Ray Green, Medical Director of Europeans for Medical Advancement, in his article titled Monkey Brain Research, the Case Against, asserts that there is no need for monkey brain research. Dr. Greek states that brain research on monkeys cannot predict side effects on human beings. Many drugs and vaccines that have no side effects on primates may cause serious damage in humans. An Alzheimer's vaccine that has seen completely harmless on primates caused brain inflammation in humans. Another reason why we should not conduct experiments on primates is that human and primate brains were completely different in size, biochemical pathways, and genetic expression. Finally, knowledge about human diseases came from autopsies, population research, and studies on human tissues. Greek concludes that funding had better be spent on research involving DNA arrays, bioinformatics, human stem cells, and not on animal research. Let us try a few items. Identify what summarizing technique is suitable to use from the passages. Here is the first one. A family is made strong through some factors. First, is love, where it is the first source of love one received from his life, which teaches someone the meaning of love he carries forever in his heart. And second, many see that loyalty strengthens a family. One sticks to family through hard times and celebrate in their happy times. You are correct. It is Cornell method. The main point is some factors that made a strong family, and the details are love and loyalty. How about this passage? This is a body of research on families that are enduring, cohesive, affectionate, and mutually appreciative, and in which family members communicate with one another frequently and fruitfully. Methods include both self-report instruments such as questionnaires and checklists, and observational procedures in which rating scales are filled out by trained observers who are present with the family in their household or a laboratory, or who view and code from a videotape made of the family interacting. This would be of great use in understanding what makes families work well and how to help more families become strong. Good job! It is summarizing an experiment report because the information has purpose, method, results, and conclusion. Let's do a more difficult one. The need to appear in court and choose between the parents is a psychological and emotional challenge. Therefore, it is desirable to bypass this stage of the divorce. Parents need to put the interest of the child first because the child will be confused and stressed. Also, the child's preference needs to be heard and valued. In a period of young puberty, children begin to feel and articulate their own identity and their reasoning ideas. In conclusion, divorce brings harm to the child's psyche, so parents should pay attention to their children during this period. Awesome! It is summarizing argumentative texts because theses and arguments are presented. Always remember that family is like branches on a tree. We all grow in different directions, yet our roots remain as one. To wrap up everything that we discussed in this lesson, complete the following statements. What I know about techniques in summarizing academic texts is: what I learned about techniques in summarizing academic texts is: what I want to know about techniques in summarizing academic texts is: after viewing and listening to this video lesson, do not forget to do these exercises as your home schoolwork for today. Worksheet number 3, EAPP, 3rd quarter. Goodbye!